grab your popcorn and your AMC Stubs card, because today we're diving into the hype-filled world of the upcoming Geek movie trailers. We have been overwhelmed lately with the flashy new trailers for Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and more, so we have to talk about them all. Whether it's a first look at a legendary hero's return, or a teaser for a bold new franchise, we're dissecting every frame to see what's worth the price of admission. All this and more on today's episode of Three-Dimensional Dads.
I'm Jay.
I'm Derek.
And I'm Ian.
And apparently this episode is sponsored by AMC Theaters. We make movies better.
Except for Nicole Kidman, please stop
Nicole
showing
Kidman needs a job. Please, Nicole Kidman, you must be in films again. We should try to get AMC to sponsor us. I mean, we literally just go to their theater. We've been to a Showcase Cinemas once.
It's whatever closest to your house. I was like a Regal Cinemas when I was there.
Well, now that
Showcase growing up
in the
support
Granite
your
State,
independent. Yeah, you can support your independent theater.
Or Cinema Salem.
No,
hey, if you're in Salem, Mass, we go to Cinema
Yes.
Salem as much as we can.
Exactly. Yes.
It's half the price, and
Yes.
it feels like the theaters when I was a kid.
Popcorn's better.
popcorn. Oh, the
Popcorn's
so
better.
much better.
Big bucket of popcorn.
They
it's awesome.
use
Serve beer.
real butter. Real butter. 4 out of 5 cardiologists do not recommend you go to that theater, so that's good.
Hey,
What about that 5th cardiologist? Is he really good at his job, you think?
or
It's
does
like
it
that
hurt
thing
if
about
he's
much
golfing.
better. The dentist, 4 out of 5 dentists recommend Crest toothpaste. What about that 5th dentist? Is he just crazy? I don't know.
Or he knows something the other dentists don't know.
Yeah.
Probably. Soylent Green is people. That's a totally different film. So as you can tell, we are all over the place because we are doing an unscripted episode. This is crazy for us. We have a teacher, a scientist, and a developer. So
Look out.
we are planners. We are planners. We plan things. This is kind of off the cuff. We said, let's do a BS episode, so to speak.
Except
it's
we're
not
planning this unplanned episode as much as possible.
Yes, we're planning this. No.
A loose, tight structure, Jay.
A loose, tight structure. Yeah. Sounds like me after my last colonoscopy. Hi-oh.
Hey,
Oh.
Okay. No, this episode is about trailers.
yes.
And I think the motif of we kind of plan it, we kind of don't, is basically like how trailers work. You kind of know what's going on, you kind of don't. Some trailers, they give away the whole movie. And Ian, that is, I know, a very big pet peeve of yours.
Oh, yeah. There's a
Yeah.
famous one with Jurassic World. They show the Indominus Rex. And then you go see the movie, and for the first 20 minutes, they're setting up the reveal of the dinosaur. You're like, if you've seen any trailer, like at the Super Bowl, then you've already seen the dinosaur. It's like seeing the shark in Jaws. And then they're
I know.
teasing, oh, you just see the tail. Oh, I think it's going to. So, yeah, boy, there have been some bad trailers give away too much.
Ooh.
It's funny you mention that because I watched that Jaws documentary on Disney Plus, and
Yeah.
there was when Alex Kittner is eaten by the shark. There was a really graphic scene of the shark basically coming up and eating the kid out of the water and pulling him down. And it was really graphic. And then they were like, "Oh, let's do something a little less graphic." And then you just see the shark kind of woo.
Nothing worked, but then we say the restraint. Oh my gosh, everything is malfunctioning. But then, how artistic not to show anything work.
It did.
Genius! Wow.
Well, that's the problem with trailers today, right? We want to know what the movie's about, but we also want to really be surprised.
Right.
So, Ian did a thing where he listed every single trailer. I'm just going to read the amount of trailers that we have in the ecosphere right now, or the zeitgeist with it. Harry Potter, Super Mario Galaxy, Spider-Man, Brand New Day, Doomsday, Mando and Grogu, Dune Part 3, Supergirl, Masters of the Universe, Lantern, Spider Noir, Disclosure Day, The End of Oak Street, J.J. Abrams produced, The Odyssey, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and Toy Story. Not to mention video game trailers for Grand Theft Auto 6, Wolverine, 007 First Light, and Pokemon Wind and Waves. Whew. That is
It's
lot
a good time
of,
to be a geek.
That's
It
a
is
lot
good
of
time to be a
tease.
geek.
That's a big tease.
Oh, yeah.
So
But most
Also,
of
some of these things
sequel.
are TV shows too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Which
some
who
of
can
that.
tell these days
Or series.
between them?
Fair.
Our first
Oh,
one up is Harry
absolutely fair.
Potter, and
Very-
seeing it,
yeah.
you wouldn't know that it's not the Harry Potter movies.
Right.
Yeah. So I
Except
thought
we don't have the great Alan Rickman saying turn your books to page 794. Cowboy.
Potter. Harry Potter. Mr.
Yeah.
Potter.
Yippee-ki-yay,
So I thought this
Severus.
trailer
Yes.
looked awesome. I thought it was dark. This is a weird thing. If you watch it on YouTube, you could barely see the trailer. It was really, really dark grading. So I watched it on HBO Max. But it's feeling very 90s. It's feeling, I think, darker in tone also, which makes sense because if you watch the first two Harry Potter movies, they're kids' movies. Like, they're very light and fluffy, and it's Christmas, and everything's kind of happy and bouncy. It's Christopher Columbus directed them. Such a different vibe than the later couple Harry Potter movies, where it's like,
especially in 4 when they
ballad.
kill Batman.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Robert
Or
Pattinson
Nagini.
is Batman. Yeah.
Christopher Columbus.
Oh my God, Cedric Diggory, and his dad's like, my boy, and you're like, Dad.
I know, that was sad.
Oh,
It's really sad. Full disclosure, I have not seen this trailer yet. It has slipped under my Jadar. Get it? Because I'm Jay.
Oh,
and
hey,
Jadar.
there you go.
But, you know, I mean, there's a lot of controversy whether you can watch Harry Potter or not right now. I say, just give me all the geek stuff. Let me make a decision, right? Let me do what I'm going to do. But I do have to watch it because if it's got that 90s feel, that means we kind of have this motif of, I don't want to say darkness, but like kind of like more grim, right? A lot of stuff from the 90s was grim. Like we were in the grunge era, that kind of thing. So I do want to check it out. Derek, what trailer has been itching your brainstem lately?
I want to stay on Harry for a little bit.
Oh,
so
do you now? Okay.
I
See, it's
do.
unscripted.
Because this is like this, I don't want to call it a problem, but this is also like the issue I have with Spider-Man to me, right? So I can't say just had all these Harry Potter movies. Is there something that you feel that the TV show is going to bring out in the story that the movies haven't already? And
money from fans.
Yeah, that's true. More subscriptions to Disney Plus.
Fair.
Well,
or
you know, so
HBO Max.
but it's not a different story, right?
No, as a Harry
Right.
Potter reader, I've read these to my daughters. We are on Order of the Phoenix right now.
Okay.
The books are that thick.
Yes.
The movie is then an hour and 25 minutes.
Okay.
And they cut out a ton of stuff that adds character. You know, there are so many characters and so many stories that just for sake of time or for sake of tone in the first movies, they cut out a lot of cool stuff.
Ages ago, I read
moments?
the first book,
So
so I
quiet
can't
moments.
really, I can't remember, like, honestly, how much was left out in the movie in comparison to the book. So I am not a Harry Potter head, even though I have this on my forehead. I mean, despite I am not. I am called Harry quite a lot by like other geeks as me, like, oh my god. But so that's what I guess I don't want to say my issue with it is, but I was just wondering because these have been movies that have been a phenomenon. And you know, it is interesting to me that HBO has invested to do this expansion of it, I guess, right? which I think,
this is true.
I guess, in Jay, your question, like, to me about like what trailers have been on my mind, right? And immediately everyone's going to know what I'm going to say because it's Dune, right? And I feel the opposite. Like, Dune should have been a miniseries instead of being in a movie where they're trying to like take these giant books.
Right.
It could have been the next Game of Thrones.
I think,
could have been this
you're
phenomenon.
right. Because when I watched the Dune movie, I haven't seen the second one. I haven't been able to sit down and watch it. But when I saw
you
the
gotta
Dune,
watch stuff, man. What are you doing?
teaching, grading,
Being an
dancing.
ad.
I don't dance. But I have a dance daughter, so there you go. No, like Dune was a lot. Like Dune for me was like Lord of the Rings. Like I remember watching Lord of the Rings and going, well, like I read these books a long time ago and I kind of know the lore, but like I was watching the movie and it was just so much, like it's almost like you have to do homework. And we always say this, we don't like to watch stuff that makes us do homework. Because
Derek,
ruins...
that was we needed a translator. So Derek,
we
when we
need-
saw Dune, one of the Dunes with you, and I was like, so who is this name that I heard? And they're saying this, and they're going, what? But then he has a sister, but the sister's like a baby, but the baby's talking to him.
Yes. Yeah.
Are those the sandworms from Beetlejuice?
Yes.
Right.
No. But that's the point, right? So like Dune could have been a mini series, could have gone into more of those moments. Harry Potter, we have the movies, they shrunk them down. Now we're going to expand it. It's kind of like the same thing of Batman and Spider-Man and the fact that they keep turning these franchises over. We haven't had a TV Spider-Man in what since the 70s, right?
Right.
But
I
we've
bring that
had
up all the time. We have
We've
so
had
much
Gotham
Spider-Man.
TV.
There's so many stories for Spider-Man. And then we get 90 minutes every 5 years. And I go,
Batman.
Yeah. And so I
Same with
read
Batman.
comics just because I love Spider-Man. I love Batman. And there are, 70 years of stories that are amazing that go all over the place.
Right.
And then the movie is just this short little thing every 5 years. It's like, that's not enough Batman. It should be a TV show if they want to be getting fans and making this a thing.
But it makes it an event. Right. And that Spider-Man trailer for Brand New Day, that was an event. They did the thing where they released little 7-second snippets for 24 hours before it. And then they had the premiere. And that's Derek, I asked what's tickling your brainstem, and I know that you love Spider-Man as much as I do. That Spider-Man trailer, that knocked me on my butt. That had so many things that I've been waiting for. Street level Spider-Man, Spider-Man and the Punisher. We had, Spider-Man versus the Hand. Spider-Man's only been a bit player in the Avengers universe so far. Right. Even in his movies, think about it. Right. Spider-Man Homecoming. Right. He's basically it's like the Tony Stark and Spider-Man story. Then Far From Home is the Nick Fury Spider-Man story. Then you have No Way Home, which is all the Spider-Man story. With all the
spoiler alert.
Yeah. Spoiler. Look, if you haven't seen it by now.
There's some internet rumors that in No Way Home, they had some shots where they removed characters, and you can kind of look at it and be like, oh, I think they removed Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man from that shot where all the villains are fighting. And then
that was when
Spider-Man trailer, there's a spot missing, and they're like, who's in that missing spot?
Well, they had, it was Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. They were cut from that thing where he was. If you haven't seen it by now, Ian, come on now.
That's true.
But they're in this shot jumping and fighting all the other supervillains. And in this one, they do the same shot with Peter and the Hand. And it's kind of
And some of the Hand are looking directly straight ahead. That's not at Spider-Man. Yeah.
Oh. I mean, one of my favorite characters.
Come on.
Making his MCU debut on the film screen is John Bernthal's Punisher. I think the best version of the Punisher we've ever had. I mean, we tried it with Dolph Lundgren. The Thomas Jane version was okay, but John Bernthal as Frank Castle, forget about the Punisher, just as Frank Castle has killed it. And the fact that they're bringing Scorpion, they're bringing Tombstone,
Scorpion, that got me. I've been waiting for Scorpion for forever.
And finally, just a nitpick though, I wish Sony and Marvel could get their act together and put Kingpin and Spider-Man together. You had a little tease in Daredevil in the Born Again series on Disney Plus that we don't need people dressing up with a skull on their chest or dressing up like spiders, and that's the closest we're going to get to Kingpin and Spider-Man. I mean, that's the guy, right? Spider-Man is a crime fighter. Kingpin is the kingpin of crime.
Well, especially when he was a street level Spider-Man, he's the head of the street level, syndicates and crime organizations.
Right.
Yeah, I think we might get something because we have now we're missing Daredevil Born Again season 2, episode 2. But
as we record this right now, it's on now. Episodes 2 and 3.
Oh, it's 2.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
2 and 3.
It's a twofer.
It's twofer.
Nice.
It's twofer.
Nice.
But then I think that leads into the Punisher Last Kill, which is the Punisher special presentation that then leads into Spider-Man. So I think we're getting some kind of somewhat connected. So who knows? Maybe we get a little Wilson Fisk.
That would be cool.
And haven't we been talking about that for years about how some of these Avengers, single movies plus Avengers have been a little disjointed, right? So if they're trying to do it, great. But I mean, that trailer just knocked my socks off, but it also made me realize there's so much more they can't get because of these stupid legal things. Right. Stupid legal. And maybe they'll figure it out someday. I don't know. But I will say, I am glad we're getting Spider-Man. I'm glad we're getting Punisher. I'm glad we're getting Daredevil because those are some of my favorite heroes because they're not OP. They're not Superman. They're not Thor.
So if we're talking Spider-Man trailer, when he's hanging from his webs and he's transforming and he's changing, are we getting Man Spider? There's a weird... So I watched a 90s Spider-Man cartoon, and there's a weird point where he gets 4 arms and 8 eyes, and he transforms into a big spider.
That was a comic.
And
No, that was a comic. That was a storyline of comics.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I knew that from the cartoon where it's like, that is nuts.
No, we have to be getting that because that's literally what's happening right now. He's talking to Bruce Banner about mutation. And if Sadie Sink is not playing Jean Grey, then
she's playing Jean Grey.
I mean, come on. How many other redheads in the Marvel universe? Well, there's a lot. But Jean Grey makes sense because they talk about mutation.
I wonder where that story is going to go, right? I mean,
they're going to introduce the X-Men.
Right. Miss Marvel's and mutant, technically. I think we're getting some kind of X-Men-y something. We're getting them in Doomsday. Worlds are colliding. There's a lot of stuff going on. I think it's a setup. All of it's this slow.
Definitely a setup.
Oh, yeah. And Sadie Sink's such a great actress. She's amazing. So I'm pumped for that. Even though she's going to be doing all the same things Eleven did from Stranger Things. Whatever. We'll suspend disbelief. But Doomsday, I mean, if we're talking about trailers, we got little bites so far of Doomsday.
Yeah.
Little trailers that kind of set up different characters, checking in on them, which I love. Where I've been saying that all the time, that they set up like 1,000 characters and like, well, what's going on with them? I'd love to just see like, what are they doing? You know, I care about these characters. Moon Knight, what's he's just kind of doing nothing now? No one sees him. No one hears from him. Just
he's
nothing.
Not in the is he in Doomsday?
Everyone's in Doomsday.
Well, no, there's like a list.
Cyclops, my favorite. If I had to pick a favorite of those, I thought Steve Rogers. Ooh, a pivot. Steve Rogers there at the house that he went back with Peggy Carter, and he's like, look at the shield, and he has a baby.
Yep.
Tune in to the 3-Dimensional Dads episode where we cover dads again in Marvel. We're doing it.
Yep.
So that's a cool moment. And then, and the X-Mansion, there's one with the X-Men where Cyclops has an optic blast up at the sky, and he's like cursing the heavens.
In the comic accurate uniform.
Oh, right. In the blue and yellow.
Yeah, the blue and yellow. Yeah,
that looks so awesome. And the X-Mansion's just ruined. There's like a Sentinel in the background. So if we're getting a Jean Grey and Spider-Man, I'm like, yeah, they're doing something cool. Because I love X-Men so much.
Yeah.
So that'll be awesome.
All right, Derek, lay it on us.
What?
Talk more. Give us more. Give us more Dune. Give us more Dune. We know you want to.
Yeah, you know, I don't know really what to expect. I honestly, because I really don't know how far they're going to go into the Dune saga. I've heard various things where it might stop before the end of the second book and only cover so much. Denis is definitely doing some interesting things because he's combining lots of different things from the story to make it, I think, a little more coherent for an audience. It's going to be, I've heard, at least from the interviews and things, it's going to be a much different story than Dune Part 2. It's going to be much darker. It's going to be, instead of a war movie, it's going to be more of a thriller type of movie. And it's basically going to cover Paul's journey, is because he's now the emperor and he has been waging war for 17 years. And billions of people have died in his name. So it is going to be a lot of him wrestling with how are you in this position of power and what do you do with that power and how do you yield it, and the people that are also trying to overthrow him as the emperor of the world, right, or of the known universe. There's going to be a lot more elements and bad guys in this. And I think it's going to be interesting because I really liked the HBO miniseries too about the Bene Gesserit, and they're going to be playing a larger role in this movie, is my understanding. And that also has been signed on for a second season on HBO Max. And I feel like that's a really good compendium to like the Dune universe. They did that really well. And so I'm looking forward to doing I think they're calling it Doomsday, because both Doomsday and Dune are coming out on December 18th, and already like the internet is like a storm of, yes, it's Doomsday. People are doing like, it's the Barbenheimer of like this coming year.
Back to back, we're doing it. They're both 2-3.5 hour movies.
It's gonna be like 6 hours. We're gonna have to like bring like our own like cups to like go to the bathroom and
bring your Dune popcorn bucket.
The worm bucket.
I mean, at least the movies have like science fiction in comments, like Barbie, Oppenheimer.
Yes.
A palate cleanser. That was great.
I will say, like, the trailer, like, it hit a lot of cool things on it. So many new worlds, so many amazing battles. Just
And his sister grew up.
yes.
So now she's Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anna Jale, and she's going to
And
be
Florence
playing a large
Pugh in the
role.
same movie.
I know.
And
It's good.
Zendaya. Oh my god.
It's a cast of top tier.
Oh yeah.
Rebecca Ferguson too. I personally love. But
We almost just watched like the same 10 actors in the all these movies.
Yes,
like watching.
Pretty much.
they're very busy. Yeah.
Hey, when you're
Jason
good, you're
Momoa, Timothée Chalamet, Robert Pattinson.
good. Hey, speaking of Jason Momoa,
Yeah.
so we just got a Supergirl trailer today,
Uh-huh.
and we got a little Jason Momoa as a Lobo.
Yes.
Which for me, I'm gonna pee on someone's cornflakes here. Not you guys, like out on the interwebs. So I watched the new Supergirl trailer just now with you guys.
Mm.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned that this is Guardians of the Galaxy again. Like this is James Gunn's, and he's not directing, but he's producing. So it's like a James Gunn type Guardians thing.
Right.
You had tastes of that in Superman, but you did not have that.
Right. The ships seem like they're right out of it. She's wearing headphones just like Peter Quill does. The bad guy in it seems just like a Ravager. The neon colors and a lot of the big neon signs everywhere. Yeah, the visual language is completely out of Guardians.
Now,
I love Guardians, and that's an interesting world that they created. But you could do something, maybe that's how he's setting up all of Marvel, is that Marvel kind of feels Guardians-y with their outer space stuff.
Well, I think the marching orders for J.J. Abrams and the other guy who I always forget his name. This shows how much I pay attention, right? I think the marching orders were like, don't be dark. Like, be the
James Gunn and Peter
Snyder.
Safran.
Peter Safran, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think their marching orders were don't be dark, because the Justice League got so much hell for being like just dark. Not even just the story, like just the palette was just like blacks and browns, like very dark.
Right. And I love that warehouse I thought we got some great Batman stuff out of that.
Yes.
But then it's hard when every character has to be in a really dark stuff, and it's all really serious, and it's like they're comic books, and that they can have this vibe, and like they deal with different vibes and different stories. I think DC's trying to do that too, that they don't all have to be exactly the same feel, exactly the same genre. Clayface is supposed to be horror, so they're going to dip into all sorts of different genres doing DC. They'll connect in story or in some big thing.
Yeah.
But I thought it hurt that Masters of the Universe earlier today, which, hey, I like the old Masters of the Universe, but that also felt like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
they're in the same kind of ships. I thought there were a lot of connections with that too.
Yeah, I thought that trailer looked very almost, I want to call it like AI generated in comparison to like Supergirl. Like, yeah, I really felt like a lot of it was just like over the top. Like Skeletor looked very, very fake to me. There were some sequences in that trailer that just felt almost AI generated, and just I was excited for the first teaser for it. It brought back those vibes of the Dolph Lundgren, like, He-Man, which I loved as a kid.
Yeah, me too.
But now I don't know. There was just something about the vibe of it now that I just really didn't like. Like, it was almost trying to be too much like the action figures in a way, if that's the only way I could describe it.
Except for the fact that He-Man looked skinny. Like, compared to like
let's not body shame He-Man.
I'm not body shaming He-Man. I'm just saying that
he works hard at the gym.
but think about this, right? Like, the action figures all kind of had the same form, right? So like when
the
He-Man
toxic
was in
masculinity form, Jay, is that what you're referring to?
Actually, the plastic mold was probably just used for multiple characters.
Yeah, the plastic mold was used for the same characters, but like when he was just the regular guy, like he was built like a brick house, and then he's He-Man and he's a brick house. This guy is kind of, I mean, he's cut, but he's like lean. But like,
I never got that with Superman. Like Clark Kent,
you were body shaming.
Kent is a bodybuilder.
It's not
and they're
body shaming. I'm just kind of going back to the comic books. I'm going back. I'm
Who's gonna
reliving
look
my
like
youth.
one of the, who's gonna come out with really well? I guess Hugh Jackman almost looked like Wolverine fair. Just
Yes.
like
Yeah.
comic book
Especially when they
stuff.
shrunk him down to 5'2" in the bar.
Yep.
No, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like they tried to make it comic booky, but like it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't have that feel. Like both of these trailers, Supergirl and He-Man, like have me a little bit more like, what are they going for? Like, I'm gonna like take
Right.
my money. I'm gonna go see them anyway. Like, it's not a question. But like, what are they going for? I don't know. And is
Right.
He-Man
We have
in the DC
superhero
universe?
fatigue. I mean, I think
Is
that's a
He-Man
real
it-
thing.
Is He-Man in the DC universe? Is it in
No.
the DC? Okay.
No.
He's his own toy company. He was an action figure creator,
Hasbro,
in a
right?
cartoon, and
So that's weird
Yeah.
though that you get the same James Gunn vibes from both Supergirl and He-Man.
yeah, everyone's ripping that off lately. That's it worked one time when they went like, people like that, right? We're cool and funky too. Look at us. Like, yeah.
I'm still it's interesting to me though that I think the second of James Gunn's movies is going to be Supergirl.
Yeah.
I think and he's doing it completely, and I did not read Supergirl comics. I did not watch the television series, right? But I don't know what her origin story is. And it's interesting that they're doing this whole outer space alien thing, right? And
Yep.
I don't know, is he taking a lot of liberty there? Is he creating his own backstory? Or is
So let me
that
fill
part
you
of
in
her?
on Kara Danvers.
Thank you.
In the lost city of Kandor. I did read Supergirl comics, and it seems like it's
Well,
close.
she grows
I mean, it
up on
seems
like
it's-
not an asteroid, like a chunk of Krypton. She like grows up on a chunk of Krypton, and then something
Okay.
happens, and she gets not excommunicated, but like they shoot her
Okay.
off the thing, right?
So
Okay.
Clark shows up as a baby on Earth, and she shows up as a teenager on Earth.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And then somehow it
Interesting.
connects to the Arrowverse. I don't know. That was the TV show.
Okay.
So I just want to say that we've been talking now for a solid 27 minutes, and we haven't even hit Grogu and Mando,
Oh, the big one.
which looks. I think this is the climax of the story here. If we're doing the Freitag pyramid, where we're doing like story, like rising action, we've now hit the climax, right? Because we are, in fact, I think, if anything, we're primarily Star Wars people.
Oh yeah,
I think that's our thing, right?
this row of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to say, first of all, Sigourney Weaver in a Star Wars movie, like,
It's pretty
it
solid.
gets me. It gets me.
it's pretty
solid.
Good casting.
The fact that she's kind of badass, and she's like you can tell like she's seen some stuff just from the trailer, like the couple of seconds. She's like an older woman from the Rebel Alliance. She's like, I've seen some stuff. Like, and Grogu, don't take my cookies, like, I think she's going to play a cool role. I do love the opening of the trailers, like Top Gun with the X-Wings, like coming over with the sun behind it. And then,
oh yeah,
Mando's flipping his switches and stuff like that. I love the opening of the trailer. I love the fact that like we saw a lot of characters, but we don't know a lot of story.
me too. Right.
Yeah.
I still don't super know what the big overarching any of it. Which
They've
good,
done it right.
don't tell us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
We
And
do
I
know
wonder what direction it's gonna go.
we do know that it's going to connect to Rebels because Zeb's in it. We know it's going to connect to Clone Wars because Jabba's son is in it. He's the buff Hutt in the fighting
Most
pit.
things click with Clone Wars these days.
Yeah.
I've been talking that with another Star Wars dude. Yeah, boy, Clone Wars all over the place. I feel like I didn't watch Clone Wars and I need to watch more of it because all
But
these
that's
references are
homework.
like, look at this guy, and I'm like, I don't know who
Yep.
that is.
But here's the thing: wasn't this movie supposed to be the capstone of Grogu and Mando? And
That's right.
what else?
Isn't tying all the
Ahsoka.
different TV shows together?
Yeah.
But I don't get that vibe.
Well-
I almost get that this is Mando season 1 or 2, where they're going around the
Yeah.
galaxy and taking bounties, and they got
Yeah.
a ship again, and they're like, turning in the credits and finding people. It felt more like that
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
the story that we got that was like Thrawn is coming to do this thing, and
Right.
they have
right,
their clan of other Mandalorians that are all part. I didn't see any of that stuff.
right.
So
It's
who
interesting.
knows?
So that's
Yeah,
the thing.
do
We
know
don't
the
know.
timeline? Yeah.
We don't know. But that's
But
the
we
good
get
thing.
little Grogu, and he's eating cookies again, and my daughters are like, they got our money. They got our money already.
I do like how they're macarons too. They're like the real French cookie,
Macarons.
and he's just like, it's a macaron, and he's like, but But no, that's a good.
Does he have a
trailer.
French accent?
Really
It's a
like
Macron.
It's a Macron. I mean, he does kind of look like a frog, right?
Yeah, true.
You know what's
Oh,
interesting?
yes, cool.
I hope this. I don't know if they're going to do this, but I was thinking watching this, and I was like, when Mando says, "Oh, he's going to outlive me by hundreds of years," imagine if all of a sudden Grogu like becomes like in a cocoon, like a gremlin, and then like he emerges from the cocoon and he's like an adult who talks like Yoda.
Oh,
I had that feeling. I'm like, oh, he's going to outlive me. I'm like, well, when are you going to have the chance to talk to him? Like he talks to Grogu, and Grogu's like, meh.
Yeah.
I wondered that too. I know.
Yeah.
It's
When
like
does he get
he's
to the
50
talking stage?
Right. He was 50 years old in the first season, right? Wasn't that what threw me on the first thing? They're like,
Something
oh, the
like that.
person you're finding's 50, and then they see the baby, and you're like, oh. But yeah, I wonder. He could talk through the Force with Ahsoka. So they
Yeah.
did
Yep.
that where she's like,
Yeah.
oh, she's having like a full conversation with him.
Yep.
And I wonder.
It's like when people talk to R2D2, right? It's like
Right? And he's like, beep, beep, beep. And they're like, no, come on. You know, they
Yeah,
react.
You understand beeps? Yes, it was offered as an elective on my planet.
yeah, right.
Right?
Well, I don't know. We have covered so much stuff in so little time. I think Ian is going to do the thing where he puts down in the comments all the trailers. He doesn't have to link them because you're already on YouTube. You can just type it in.
Go
But
watch them. They're great.
I think that's a good place
I'm
to
sure
stop.
YouTube will suggest them right
Yes,
after
right,
the
YouTube
video.
yes.
will suggest them. But if you want to talk about those trailers, make comments down in the. Everything's happening
Yeah.
below us.
Yes.
That sounds weird.
In our basement.
In
And
our
you
basement,
could also
yes.
email us at 3dimensionaldads@gmail.com.
You can.
Hey.
You can. So we hope you enjoyed this scripted, unscripted episode. And we will see you at the movies because I'm Jay.
I'm Derek.
And I'm Ian.
And hopefully AMC will pay for our tickets going forward. All right. Take it easy, folks. Thanks for listening to this bonus episode all about the coolest new trailers for 2026. We hope the movies turn out as cool as the trailers when they are released.
If you want to find out more about the Three-Dimensional Dads, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok at Three-Dimensional Dads, or email us at threedimensionaldads@gmail.com. We want to hear from you.
Next time on 3Dimensional Dads, we're going head-to-head for round 2, DC versus Marvel. Is the new Doom phase Marvel going to live up to the hype, or is James Gunn's fresh take on DC going to deliver a knockout to blow off Marvel's mouse ears off? All this and more on the next episode of 3Dimensional Dads.